Yo, wagwan, it's that guy. I'm back at it again with another freaking dreadlock video. You know what it is? Boom, shakalaka. You know I got this green screen game on lock. I've been wearing this thing a lot lately because I need to wash my hair. My hair needs to be washed. Yo, I always find my hair never shows up on camera that well because it's so dark. Anyways, Freeform locks, they are massive on the internet. They are bigger now than they've ever been before, thanks to subcultures like social media. Today in the dreadlock community, I'm going to showcase a freeformer YouTuber by the name of Ahzul Earth. And this dude has some insane freeform locks which look to come from a type 1C hair. So without further ado, let's just jump in and see what dude's locks are all about, because they are definitely very fire. And I'm gonna start with the most recent video, and we can see his hair. He normally never talks in his videos, but this video he actually does talk a bit, but more so on his hair. You can see how thick his locks are from the back, and I might have even said his hair was 1C. It might even look like a 1A. And it shows that, you know, all hair types do lock together if just left alone, left unbrushed. And look how crazy his locks. These are natural wicks. These cannot be imitated. And these are crazy to see how long his wicks are getting. You can see he's got the big beaver tail lock right on the back. And in total he's got like 7 dreads. Again, the beaver tail lock, almost like the biggest rat tail I've ever seen. Remember the rat tail style back in the 90s? This is like the ultimate version of that, and I think this looks fantastic. All the loose hairs around his head, you know, just embracing the frizz, not needing to crochet them together or anything. You can notice that the front of his head has some bangs, and the sides here look like they've been shaved as well. The sideburns. So I'm really intrigued by his hair because I don't see buildup, I don't see lint in there. For the part of the world that he's in, it's a tropical climate, so it's a lot easier for him to maintain these and wash them and dry them on a regular basis. A little bit of buildup right there, actually, right here in his hair. 3 little spots there of something, and it's just insane to see where his locks have come over the years. Lots of loops and kinks and kind of crinkles happening the natural route. And this happens because the hair contracts. As it starts to lock together, it contracts and will kind of create some waves. And the biggest thing about his locks, besides the size, is just where he's come from while having these locks. And we're going to look at the very first video now. Freeform locks day 10. And I mean, obviously at day 10 you're not going to notice that much of a difference on stuff, but we can see here how smooth and how straight his hair actually is. So to see that his hair went from this to the epic freeform locks that he has now, it proves that every hair type will lock together, regardless of how straight your hair is or how curly your hair is. You know, it does happen. So, you know, even after 10 days here, he's kind of got some hairs starting to form together. You know, it's definitely not noticeable at this stage because his hair just looks regular at this point, but he is picking up some clumps that are kind of starting to go together and starting to contract together. And, you know, and it's really just a big game of patience, a huge game of patience at this point to really get, you know, to where he's at now. So I'm going to take this back, and he's about 5 years in on his lock journey right now. So that was 10 days. Let's go to 6 months. You can see all the shrinkage that happened, and you can see that it is starting to look a bit, I guess, rougher, a bit nestier, but the locks are there. It has worked. And obviously Ahzul here never went through any separations with his locks. He just kind of kept them all freeform, 100% freeform. And 5 years later, it's definitely paid off quite a bit. So this is the beginning of one of those big long dreads that he's got on the side now. So cool. A lot of people have been commenting to do a video on Ahzul. And you can see why, because his hair is just so epic, so natty, and is honestly probably the most natural freeform locks I've seen on YouTube in a long time. I really hope he continues his journey here towards that 10-year, that 15-year mark, because I'm definitely intrigued on seeing and enjoying this journey along the way. And that's the beautiful thing about the lock community here on YouTube or here on the internet, is that we can share our journeys together, and we can see the progress day by day. Right there at the back, you can see the big beaver tail dread forming, and at this point it kind of looks like it was a big just clump on the back of his head. So it goes to show that even if your hair is clumping into one big spot and you let that clump grow out, it will still become a big dread. It's not necessarily just going to clump in that area and stay as a big bulge. Definitely a recipe for a great plica polonica. So I mean, that's just at 6 months that started to happen, which is actually really fast. And then obviously here, when we go up to 4 years now, 4 years in, his locks have really solidified into what they are. No threads, no rubber bands going on for these wicks, and these have probably got to be some of the biggest wicks that I've seen here on YouTube. You can see the sun has changed the color of his hair over the years as well. You know, it looks so sick. I wonder what people say to him about his hair. I bet you he gets a lot of praise. I bet you he gets a lot of stigma at the same time. Embracing the frizz to the fullest. And these are definitely very Bob Marley like. If Bob Marley was alive today, he would salute these locks. Here's a quick dread bun tutorial. Wrapping up his hair with his own hair. Oh, I guess he uses a rubber band at some point. Should be pretty quick to do this with so little dreads. So he's basically doing like a pineapple top, palm tree look. And then he's taking the big beaver tail, and he's gonna flip that one through the rubber band as well. And I guess he's gonna take some of his other locks and wrap it around, or is he just gonna tuck them into that same rubber band? It's always interesting seeing what other people are doing with their lock styles. I used to wear my hair back in rubber bands every day, and now with my freeformed, I don't. And I'd rather wear one of these headbands that I was wearing. I don't know where it went. Like a dreadlock sleeve, a dread bandana, than using a rubber band these days. So, actually a lot more work than I had thought that he'd be putting into this dread bun. But you know, dread bun's definitely worthwhile and very effective when you're trying to cool down and you want to let the breeze hit your neck. It's definitely good for when you're eating, get the dreads out of your food and out of your face. I don't know any dreadhead that can eat and wear their hair down at the same time. I end up getting food in my hair every single time, and it's not enjoyable because when food's left in your locks, it can definitely mold over. So that's a cool little update there. And lastly, I also want to show you guys a quick freeform lock update that he had going on here. So I'm super stoked for his lock journey and to see how thick. And I wonder if they're even going to get thicker than what they are if they start to Congo up even more. Is it even possible to have these Congo up more than what they are now? I guess only time will tell. Oh, this is kind of cool here. This is one of his thinnest dreads that he's got. Compared to everything on his head, that's like that's the thinnest dread. Compared to that one. Whoa, which is one of his thickest dreads. So that's kind of crazy. Really freaking crazy. Look, now it's my dread. Anyways, I'm gonna end this video here. I appreciate you guys stopping by here on the Knot Nation channel every single day. We do have dreadlock content regularly dropping. We also have a membership page if you guys want to join. It's only $5 a month to support the dream here on YouTube. Until next time, this is knotlocks signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. One love, stay happy and natty, and have an awesome day. I appreciate you guys. Peace.